In the year 625 CE, just 1 year after the decisive victory of Badr, the Muslims of Medina faced another critical test, the Battle of Uhud. The Quraysh of Mecca had not forgotten their humiliating defeat at Badr, where their larger army of 1,000 men was crushed by just 313 Muslims. Filled with rage and thirst for revenge, the Quraysh began preparing for a new confrontation. They gathered a powerful army of over 3,000 soldiers, supported by cavalry and women who marched with them to encourage their fighters and keep their morale high. Their aim was clear: to destroy the Muslim community of Medina once and for all. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, aware of the Quraysh's approach, consulted with his companions about how to defend Medina. Some of the companions suggested staying inside the city and fighting from within its narrow streets, while others, especially the younger companions who had missed Badr, wished to meet the enemy outside in open battle. The Prophet agreed to the majority opinion, and the Muslim army of around 1,000 soldiers marched out of Medina toward Mount Uhud. Along the way, however, a hypocrite leader named Abdullah ibn Ubay withdrew with 300 of his followers, leaving only 700 Muslims to face a much larger Quraysh army. Friends, before we move forward, a quick reminder: if you enjoy stories of Islamic history and great battles that shaped the world, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Light of History, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. When the Muslims reached the battlefield near Mount Uhud, the Prophet placed 50 skilled archers on a small hill to guard the rear and protect the army from any surprise cavalry attack. He gave them strict instructions: no matter what happened, whether the Muslims were winning or losing, they must not abandon their position. This strategic placement was crucial, as it blocked the enemy cavalry from surrounding the Muslim army. As the battle began, the Muslims fought bravely. Once again, their courage and faith carried them forward, and they pushed the Quraysh back. Many of the Quraysh soldiers began fleeing, and the Muslims started collecting spoils of war, thinking victory was theirs. If you're finding this story fascinating, then take a moment to subscribe to Light of History. Your support helps us bring you more powerful stories from the past that the world should never forget. But at that critical moment, many of the archers disobeyed the Prophet's command. Seeing the enemy retreat and the battlefield full of goods, they left their positions to join the others in gathering spoils. Only a small number of archers remained on the hill. This was the turning point. Khalid ibn al-Walid, who at that time was not yet Muslim, was leading the Quraysh cavalry. He saw the hill left undefended and seized the opportunity. With a swift maneuver, his cavalry attacked the Muslims from behind, striking them with full force. Chaos erupted on the battlefield. The Muslims, who had been winning, suddenly found themselves surrounded from both sides. In the confusion, many Muslims were martyred. The Prophet himself was injured, his face cut and his tooth broken. Rumors spread that the Prophet had been killed, which caused panic among the fighters. Some lost hope, while others continued to fight with desperate courage. Among those who defended the Prophet were great companions like Talha ibn Ubaidullah and Abu Dujana, who shielded him with their own bodies. The Quraysh, however, did not achieve a complete victory. Although the Muslims suffered heavy losses and about 70 of them were martyred, including the beloved uncle of the Prophet, Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, the Quraysh failed to destroy the Muslim community or capture Medina. After the battle, they feared returning to finish the fight, thinking the Muslims still had strength to resist. The Muslims, though deeply wounded, had survived another test. The Battle of Uhud taught powerful lessons. It showed the dangers of disobedience, the importance of discipline, and the reality that even the Prophet's army could suffer setbacks if they strayed from guidance. It also revealed the determination of the Quraysh, who would not stop until Islam was completely eradicated, a mission they would fail in time. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more great battles and forgotten chapters of history, don't forget to subscribe to Light of History. Stay connected, because in our next video, we'll bring you another story that changed the course of the world. For the Muslims, Uhud was not just a military defeat. It was a spiritual and moral lesson. It reminded them that victory comes only through steadfastness, obedience, and unity. And though the Quraysh celebrated their revenge, the tide of history was already turning. Within just a few years, the same Khalid ibn al-Walid, who had led the cavalry against the Muslims at Uhud, would embrace Islam and become one of its greatest generals.